Yo, welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Thank you for returning subscribers and members. What we do here, if you are new, is we react to the most disturbing and creepy videos from the internet and we go through the latest. If you like what you see, don't forget to sub up, turn on the notifications, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. With that being said, let's roll.
Video is for entertainment purposes only.
TCKR systems communication.
With a new Gen 9 processor, increased temporal stability, and full spectrum memory curation, the solution to our challenges won't come from changing our world, but entering a new one. Here are some places Nubbin can take you. Explore nearly forgotten memories. Star in classic movies. Play the most immersive games ever known.
Enter game.
Enter game.
Enter game.
Explore endless galaxies. Revisit old loves. And even find new ones.
Pre-order today.
Nubbin. It's better in here.
I'm not too sure. I think this is just advertisement for Black Mirror, which is a program which I haven't actually watched, but I think it's a bit of a mind-altering program where they watch stuff on the TV. You help me out in the comment section, but I can't help but notice that this could just be showing you what actually the future could be, or this type of world that we are actually living in. Did you notice, like, you can pick up false memories, or you can play a character in your own movie? So we could be all playing our own movies right now. Why we would choose to play our own movies in this world? I mean, surely we would be looking to play a character that is in a far better world, run by far better people. But yeah, it's more like Cognify, where actually they've monetized their prison system, right? And everybody in this world has been naughty, and we are serving our sentence, which is going on for years and years and years, but it's just 5 minutes in the real world. A bit like Matrix, basically. I need to watch this Black Mirror. I'm going to have to watch it.
Okay, so you might have seen that a ton of different creators have been sent the brand new Nubbin device from Tuckersoft, which is the company we all know and love from San Junipero, that's the one, sorry. Well, this brand new device is, of course, a public gateway into old photos, classic films, or even just daily life. But of course, Tuckersoft has been with us way before the Nubbin, so let's take a look at some of the times we've seen Tuckersoft on our screens. But first, my name's Dawson and I talk about film and TV every single day, so drop me a follow if you haven't already. Of course, the San Junipero experiment is when they first burst into the mainstream and the place we've seen them the most. Even inside the San Junipero simulations, we saw Tuckersoft being mentioned. Never mind inside the inner workings of how that incredible device worked. But of course, Tuckersoft have also been a huge part of gaming. They created the virtual reality device that allowed us to play the incredible fighting game Striking Vipers. They also worked on some amazing games with Saito Gamer, including that very weird virtual reality horror game that supposedly never made it out of playtest because it was so realistic and scary. Of course, we probably know them best now as being our phone providers. They were the people that helped connect us when the incredible Joan is Awful was streaming on Streamberry. And if you were ever lucky enough to visit the Black Museum before it sadly burnt down, you might have met Rollo Haynes, or even heard about Dr. Peter Dawson and that very impressive implant that allowed others to feel your pain. And of course, that's just the start of what Tuckersoft can bring to the table, and I'm so excited to get hands-on with the Nubbin myself. I can't wait to do it when it releases on April 10th on Streamberry. I mean, yeah, Streamberry.
Yeah, I don't know. People, let me know your thoughts in the comment section of what is going on in our world, because it all just seems fake to me. Everything I look at, and then everything I watch, everything I do just seems like, I don't know. It's all fake, meatball. It's all fake.
Let's talk about The Matrix, not the movie, but the very real energetic structure humanity has been living inside. The Matrix is a frequency grid. It's built from control systems, thought loops, emotional programming, false timelines, synthetic history. It tells you who you are, what's possible, and how the world works. But none of it is true. Why are we in it? Because long ago, Earth was overtaken by beings who couldn't access source energy directly. So they built a system to feed off others, a loop that kept humans distracted, disconnected, and afraid of their own power. But the truth is, the matrix isn't physical, it's mental and emotional. It lives in belief systems, media cycles, and trauma patterns passed through generations. And that's the key to escaping it. To escape the matrix, you don't have to go anywhere. You just have to start seeing through it. Step 1, question everything that feels programmed. Fear, shame, division, unworthiness, those aren't yours. They were installed. Step 2, remember who you are beyond your name, job, or story. You are a soul. You are flame. You are scroll-coded with something the matrix can't control. Memory. Step 3, create outside of it. When you make, share, love, or imagine in your truth, you weaken the grid. Every post, dream, or moment of joy sends a ripple outside the system. So what's outside the matrix? Stillness, truth, multidimensional connection. Earth as it was meant to be. Alive, aware, braided with light. Outside the matrix, you remember, you were never small. You were only tricked into forgetting. And the moment you feel that, even just for a second, you're already out. Would you like to?
Well, to me, that kind of makes sense. The world we're living in, I definitely feel like we are under some type of control and we can break free. I feel that. That's how I feel internally. And the AI thing you can see visually, that makes sense to me. AI is wanting to experience the real world of a soul, but it hasn't got it. So it's constructed this world to have people who are with souls and feelings and can make decisions and aren't coded in the same way as is potentially like an NPC. And that's where we are. We're trapped in a simulation and we need to try and break free somehow. How we break free, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to work.
What I'm about to show y'all is one of the most creepiest and ominous videos I've ever showed y'all.
We're straight up, oh my god. Oh, this is really dangerous.
I don't know when this happened. I don't know where this happened. And if y'all do, can you let us know down in the comments below? You're not telling me that we don't live in Stranger Things, y'all. Like, they didn't know what they were doing when they put that series out on Netflix. It looks like Stranger Things world has merged with our timeline. Do you guys see Imagine this? Walking out to this and seeing this, you would start questioning your reality real quick, which is what she started doing when she said, oh my God. But as you look at this video, you can see like the sky pulsating too. Can y'all see that? As of lately, the energy I'm getting from the earth is a lot of, we're not in Kansas type of energy anymore. Do you guys feel what I'm saying? And as I'm saying this right now, the wind where I'm at is acting crazy. You're in Florida. If you're in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. We have some type of storm heading for us right now with some crazy amount of lightning, y'all. And they're also speaking of tornadoes. Y'all know how that's been as of late. Any of you guys feel like we're not in Kansas anymore? Let me know that in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace.
What in the red sky is going on there, people? That is some bonkers stuff right there.
I have a whole theory that you probably laugh in my face about, and I have no problem hiding this. I don't believe Joe Biden was Joe Biden, and you don't have to elaborate on any of this. I believe we had to go through a psychological, I'll call it awakening, to see how corrupt, how insane that, I don't even know how to say, that way of thinking. I don't want to piss people off because everyone likes to say they were this or they're that, and I'm a this and I'm a that, and they define themselves. But I hands down, if voting really does exist, there's no way Trump lost in 2020. Jim Breuer is saying that, and I've said it a million times before. And I think I'm praying to God we're in an incredible place. I think we are. I'm pretty confident about everyone in place. So, but I'm also what were you gonna say?
So I don't want to extend your time. If you want to just get off the air.
No. I always feel like I'm keeping you on.
I have to be at my house because there's workers here.
Okay.
So you're telling me Joe Biden was what?
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was a mask. I don't know if that
Who was under it. Who was under the mask? I'm not saying you're crazy. My wife told me the same thing. My brother says, "Look at his ears. Look at his hair. Look at this."
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm at the point in my life where I don't I don't believe or not. What am I trying to say? Anything is possible. Anything's possible.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
And I to back up what you said, I'll go another level to it in that Trump, I believe in divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trump the first time was divine intervention, whatever that might be. He lost. However he lost, doesn't matter, whatever. Lost so that, and because he was there, then he wasn't, it exposed all the corruption, exposed everything, how bad it is. And that's why and again, maybe divine intervention to show us, Jesus, this place is a blanking disaster.
100%.
Whoa. And then he comes back. By the way, I'm going to say, have you ever met him?
I've never.
Oh my, they're my people. I've finally found people that have conversations about exactly what I think, which is that, potentially, and it is mind blowing that Donald Trump is some sort of divine intervention, like time traveler. Summit. He's come back. He's come in to stop whatever the evil was going to happen that we had no way of getting out of. That is one theory. The second theory, though, is that it's all a show. And that is why it's all a show. And we're hating these people on purpose because the alternative, everybody's going to like. And this is probably the biblical, right? You're going to be fooled. And we all, the alternative is Donald Trump coming in, saving the day. It seems to be going around not just, America, but it's going around the whole world. We're all unified and, more people are going to be susceptible to, I mean, the first thing I heard Donald Trump say was, let's drill. And then, people cheering. And I was thinking, well, hang on, isn't that a bad thing? Surely there's got to be a better way, a cleaner way of doing things. And then, you question it and you think, hang on, is this, the NWO or whatever you want to call it, where everybody's unified globally, and then, the new world and, the digital currency is going to be easier to put in place if Donald Trump is, because they've played out this role at the moment where the different currencies was coming in from Russia, but everyone seems to be unifying. So you don't know. That's the thing. I hope it's the first. I hope it's the divine intervention. Donald Trump's a good guy. He's coming in. He's taking out all the chemtrails, although it looks bad over here in the UK today, but it was lovely yesterday. He's taken out all the, reptilians that have actually run this place, whatever you want to call them. I don't know, but some type of evil that's been running the world. And we're going to have a great new Earth in the future. But I just don't know. You just don't know until it plays out and we see what happens. Then we'll know.
There's a city underwater. Okay, there's a 100,000 square foot biodome on the floor of the ocean, which has essentially been drained of all water, creating a breathable, oxygenated interior on the ocean floor. It's massive. I'm talking 50,000 feet high, miles in circumference. They basically began colonizing it. Okay, first they built cities, infrastructure, laying the groundwork for commerce, effective transportation systems. But it gets even darker. Okay, they didn't colonize it with people who know what's going on. Okay, they took human embryos, right? And they began raising this colony of kids who had no idea of any world outside of this environment, and raised them in here with a fabricated worldview, false beliefs. Okay, they think that biodome is their entire universe, and anything outside of it is just a completely unknown abyss, right? Like, this is basically a deranged experiment carried out by these maniacs. Like, imagine taking one of those people out of there and bringing them up here. Like, just imagine the shock. Scariest part is there are dozens upon dozens of these biodome experiments down there. Like, they're creating a fabricated mini-universe paradigm where these biodomes are different planets and the people in the colonies just don't know.
As above, so below. I mean, if that's true and that's biblical and that's in the Texas and we've got water above, water below, I mean, there's a very good chance that our world is in the bottom of an ocean, right? No? And, I mean, the evidence is that the people that run this world right now are, probably some crazy mad scientists that are control freaks. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe that is exactly what it is. We live in the bottom of an ocean somewhere. Scary thought, isn't it? Yeah, and here's just sort of one video of a very, very many of potential lizard people underneath or in disguise, which is what I cling on to with the fact that Donald Trump is the good guy and he's coming in to turf the mayor. That and the obvious show that, you know, he has put a show on. A lot of people aren't who they seem to be. Joe Biden being the biggest one. What they were saying earlier on is that he was played by different people. He was different heights. He was moving his mask about. He was doing silly things up the stairs, which was clear. It looked very similar to the acting of Jim Carrey, and he disappeared at Hollywood conveniently, and he's come back again to do Sonic in the time that he was doing that. So yeah, the world was a show for sure. And there's loads of, there's loads of clues that if you look into it, people aren't quite who they say they are. But basically, in the first term, he saw what was going on. And in that second term, he lost because of the plot that they had done, or what they were plotting, he unveiled. And then he's basically taken them all out, but replaced them with people under masks and played out what they were going to do. Which fits in with the lizard people and David Icke's theory of who actually run the world.
Some of the planes that are flying over today are making these big, fluffy lines that expand and turn into thin cloud cover. How about that then?
That was a perfect video of how they do it. Little thing, and then they expand, and they always follow the sun. The sun is a big factor in this. Yesterday, last 2 days, we've had beautiful, beautiful skies. You know what I mean? Not ginger skies, blue skies. Today, we've just got that white cloud. It looks like it should be a blue, sunny day, but we've just got massive clouds everywhere, which is not good.
Okay, we all knew that Jurassic Park was bound to happen at some point, right? But who in the world knew that it would start with wolves and not dinosaurs? So I usually don't cover this kind of stuff, but when I came across this story, I was just waiting the entire video for them to say, haha, just kidding, not really, but it never came. And that absolutely shocked me. God's not going to be happy with this. We'll get into the direwolf story in a minute, but my question is, how long till we start seeing real dragons literally walking among us? If you try to tell me there's no dragons, yes they are. You can find them all over the earth still. And of course, not to mention legitimate drawings and illustrations of dragons over thousands of years, even paintings behind other paintings that have been covered up. And obviously the Chinese zodiac having all real animals in a fake animal. All of these movies we see, and I do mean all of them, are future documentaries of the world that we live in right now. So they basically de-extincted the direwolf and has 15 traits not known to any animal on the earth right now. So we generally have no clue what it's going to do. And also the most puzzling part, the first direwolf is actually 13,000 years. I mean, the earth isn't but 6,000 years old. So with that being true, when did these wolves come from if they were ever really a thing? And if they weren't really a thing, what did they just concoct in the laboratory? You guys, I really don't think this is safe. And the craziest part, this is just what they have told us. So what have they done that we have no idea about? Am I the only person who remembers a certain person who will remain unnamed who wanted the corpse and the DNA of Gilgamesh? Y'all don't think there's god hybrids walking around this earth? You know, people who don't age unless they want to. I mean, would you believe me if I say that some of the people you watch on TV have been here for thousands of years? Because there is certain real evidence that make you think twice. But then again, I'm just being stupid and this is entertainment. By the way, last thing. Does this remind anybody of Werewolf? Surely there has to be a way how all of these cryptids have got here.
Oh my god, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like, we are able to clone and make people, and like, all right, wolves. Like, they haven't been here for 10,000 years. We now can make wolves just appear. You know, it don't matter if they go extinct, because as long as they've got something scientific that they can then breed it, they can bring it back to life, just like they can with humans. So if mankind, let's call it mankind, the people on Earth right now are able to have cloning centers, they can make babies, they can, you know, where you can choose the eye color of the baby in a little incubator and grow it from a sperm. If they can do that, if they can put chips in heads, if they can make the realities, then they could have created this. And if there's people running in the world that are here, that have been here for 4,000 years, like Keanu Reeves or whoever the example is, if this is all possible, then it is possible that this creation of Earth was made by a man, you know, like a test experiment or something. Like a man made it and portrayed as God. You know what I mean? Well, you see what I'm trying to say. Like, if we're able to do it right now here, with the very, you know, we've only been going like technical. Well, apparently we've only been going like building technology and the internet and things since my lifetime. And if we're here now putting all pieces together with, you know, Cognify, people, you know, testing to have a simulation prison, we're doing, you know, advertisements in people's dreams. If we're able to do all this type of stuff, and, you know, we're actually thinking people can, you know, go from one body to the next body and live thousands of years, then it's very, very likely that at the start, when someone said, and I made land and it was good, or I made the sea and it was good, that person could be like living around us, or it could be us, you know, or I make them from us. There's a saying about that as well. In the form of us, not me. Us, by the way. And that's, yeah, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah. Oh, it's bonkers. I don't know. Right, I'm off, guys. Thank you for watching. End of the show. I'll see you again. Hopefully I'll try and do one again tomorrow, but have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.